All right, the last is the three zones that most people run. There's usually three traditional zones that people run. Is a cover four. It's more of a prevent type deal. And it's basically a play off of the T-soft deal, but now he has a true deep quarter. He has a deep quarter, And he's going to open up the three, wherever three ends up being. Sorry. And these guys pretty much have the same job in cover two. Again, that's more of a long down and distance passing defensive thing. Okay, and against cover four, these guys are all playing quarter technique. Okay, again, same thing. They're going to wall two, the curl flat, wall two, curl flat. He's basically a hook or middle defender.
So let me ask you this: what's the difference? Okay, if in a cover four and a cover two, what is the safety's responsibility? If it's a run in cover two, if they show run first, what would they do? In cover two.
In cover two, the corners are primary run force players. The safeties are going to not come up until the ball crosses the line of scrimmage. Okay. They need to stay home for play action pass.
And then what about in cover four?
Cover four is the exact opposite. These guys are going to get deep, and these guys are usually a flat-footed read, and they're going to come up and force the run.
Okay, you guys understand that? So in cover two, okay, even if it's a run play, the safeties are always going to backpedal first. Okay, then when the ball crosses the line of scrimmage, then they're coming forward. Okay, in cover four, okay, they're not going to pedal at all. They see run, they're coming downhill. Okay?
They usually bounce their feet or flat foot.
Exactly. So, in cover four, what would be great? What would be a great play versus a cover four?
Play action.
Play action. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good. That's the answer I was looking for.
Yeah, play action thing over the middle. Very acceptable for these guys. These guys are aggressive run players.
Okay.
Could you go on that stuff for?
Yeah. I want you to drop the line.
Okay, so those are the three base zone defenses that are out there that you'll see primary, majority of the time. There are a couple like half man, half zone deals, but next thing we'll talk about is man coverage. Okay, again, there's always 5 eligible guys. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so you're usually just rushing 4 guys. So now we have 7 guys to cover this. Okay, so corners are usually on the outside guys. We'll put our strong safety here. Sam, Mike, Will.
Does everybody understand what a Mike, Will, and a Sam is? Matt? Aaron, you know what?
Sam's usually the strong side backer. Mike's usually the middle. Will's usually the weak side. Okay. Traditional defense.
So a quick story to that is the quarterback from St. Margaret's, his name is Josh Davis, threw for 2,200 yards, 20 touchdowns. Okay, we're talking about Mike, Will, and Sam. He had no idea what the W and the Will stood for. I was like, you didn't know it was a weak side linebacker? No. We still threw for 2,200 yards and 20 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and didn't know who's a Will, a Mike, and a Sam. He's just out there just playing. Okay? So it's going to be my job to get him up to speed. Okay? So he had that type of production. He was player of the year and league player of the year and all that stuff, and didn't even understand defenses that well. Okay? So if you guys learn it now, how easy the game's going to come. Okay? Go ahead, Coach.
All right. So cover 1 is it still has a number, so but it's a man coverage. Free safety is usually going to be the deep player. Corners are man here. Sam's man here. He's man here. He's man here. And one of these 2 linebackers is going to blitz. The other guy will have the running back man to man. Okay. They can play press or they can play off. Again, corners are always going to lie. Okay. They might both be off. If they're both off, you might first think, hey, they're playing cover 3 because this is where they cover 3 do. But again, backers and the strong safety, backers and safeties never lie. They'll let you know what they're in. Okay. Free safeties, these guys are basically taught, again, split the number 1s, and they're just basically mirroring the quarterback. They're going to try to read him. So I know Coach is doing drills with you guys where you're trying to look that safety off. He's telling you that. That's a very big key because he's basically just mirroring you. If you can do a good job of looking him off and then throwing here, you'll be a little more successful because he's just going to absolutely read you at the pass.
And so a couple of years ago, when I was talking to a defensive coordinator from the college, and I asked him, I said, what do you have your safeties look at on the quarterback to help him know where the ball's going? I said, you have him watch his eyes? He said, no, not anymore, because you guys got too good at looking us off. So he said, I'm gonna have my safeties watch your front shoulder. Because even though your eyes are looking here, okay, if your front shoulder there, that's probably where the ball is going. Okay? So even though your eyes are here, and then by the time you turn to throw, he can just follow your shoulder. Because your front shoulder is gonna take you right where the ball is. I was like, okay. So let me start to tell my quarterbacks when I want to move a safety, okay, I want to move him this way, and then snap my shoulders back and throw the opposite way. Okay.
So that's cover one. In passing situations, they'll run cover 2-man. Okay, the will usually comes out and covers. And then you have 2 safeties deep. Okay, and again, they're doing the same thing. Everyone here's man coverage. You have one guy on that half of the field reading the quarterback, this guy on this half of the field reading the quarterback. Okay. Obviously, run-wise, if you start running the ball against this, you can be pretty successful. Okay, that 2-man is a pass-style defense. Question?
What two routes would you say you guys struggle to cover the most when you guys are in your man?
It kind of depends if we are off man or if we are pressed. Especially in pressed, we always have a problem with slants. Even though we are inside leverage, the receivers have gotten real good at sticking a route, and we're just lunging and being too aggressive with our technique and letting that guy go inside. I always see any kind of double move, just doing the same thing, and we oversell and go back the other way. I think we've gotten pretty good at playing fades. Any kind of outcut, obviously, if we're inside man. And he does a good job of kind of shoving off or chicken winging off and running away from us. Those things are hard.
What about pick routes, Coach?
Pick routes, and that's obviously one of the big things is, you know, when they see you in man, they'll start doing some motion or other stuff, and they'll come in here and get real tight with some stuff. So there's a couple different things defensively we can do. We can play different levels. So if your guy's on the ball, he's going to be on the ball, and he goes with him wherever he goes, and this guy's going to play off. Say it's a free safety, and if he, you know, if they do this, he'll still stay with his guy. Or we will what we call banjo the 2 guys. Not a big fan of that, but it's basically once these guys get to a certain point, about 4 to 5 yards, the first guy that comes in is his guy. The first guy that goes out is his guy. The ones that can beat that now, if both guys go in, that makes it tough on the banjos. So there's either playing what we call different levels. Or if your guy's on the ball, you're on. If he's off the ball, you're off, because both guys can't be on the ball. Okay. Or we'll play banjo where we kind of leverage it inside, outside of that. So there's a lot of things that can beat that right there. Real quick pass game stuff, double slants, and those things. So.
Robert?